See that? And it begins to approximate a real cloth. Now, I can go back with the BAP and accentuate the darknesses by pulling out one or two of these in the lighter areas. See? And I go over that again, de-importantizing the whole thing a little bit. Then I can go to this grommet hole here, take this HB, and a couple of the sides I can impress without going all the way around on all of them. It's too close. Can't really see all that well. Can you get my light over here? I'll just pick a couple of sides there. And then as shine and shadow are with each other, I don't have any idea what's going to turn out to look like eventually, but I'll tell you what, I get a lot of mileage out of that right there. Basically, if you didn't see it, lighten these areas here, put a little half moon around it, and darken in the center as it is in the picture. You see, you just faked a little realism there. You know, that would look good enough just to leave if you wanted to. See? Because really, all you're doing is trying to replicate that. And I can do that. And in fact, the more I do, I can actually reinforce what I've done here in a certain couple of areas. And you can see it's really neat what happens. And take the cutter again, any of them. You know, you got your first steps there at realism. And then you see, you put the whole thing together. Drawings are done from 2 feet away. The glory of them is they're designed to be seen from 10 feet away. 10 feet away forgives a lot of sin. That 8 feet of difference forgives an enormous amount of sin. Oh yeah. It does. It forgives an enormous amount of sin. And you know, I mean, it's just... What I want to do now is try to get up here and get the top part of this finished, if we can. Try to get this done up here. Alright, again from the top we've got a dark value here. Comes down to there, and then there's a dark piece that comes off of that. Hair that's going to come right straight over, and that's actually going to be lifted out a little bit. And I'm going to accentuate this. Not quite this accentuated in the picture, but it's like a string, a clump of hair that's coming over. More that comes over this way. With the real darkness being right in here. See that okay or not? Try to get it lined up with the camera. And then over here, this is picking up some serious hot light action. Down through there. Now we're going to see the beginnings of this band of shine, which I'll pull out and then re-impress with pencil along here. So you'll notice in the band of shine, right, there's a secondary piece here. So cut in right about there. And it kind of falls into this white streak here. We see that. Another secondary lightning. Cirrus lightning there. Cirrus lightning all the way out to about the top. That's about right. Yeah, and this is shaded at an angle. This piece right here is shaded at an angle. And of course it has hairs down through there. This is of course dark on that side. Now we'll see how that looks. Yeah, we can work on that. Just get the chunks in, then I can make it make sense a little bit later on. Right now I just want the values to where if you squint at it, it'll look right. A lot of times you can squint at things and they will look right. But here's another chunk of this hair, which is actually this bulge right here. And it comes over right on this side. It's a part of the dark from the it's dark up here at the top. It comes around and this part shoots out here. It's a dark piece right about here. And then this piece, ooh, that's really white, isn't it? Yeah, we ought to be able to cut this good. Use a cutter here. Let's see. That's to there, and then this piece is really white down through here, right? White piece there, right? And this comes up into here, really white. And then this piece will come down to there, and another secondary piece will come into there. Alright, is that beginning to make any sense below? How are we doing down there? Let's see. How does that connect? Yeah, now we're getting the tassels and the tangles just right. I need to get a sharpening here. Let's do that now. Okay, next thing we want to do is come over here, and you know there's a strand of hair that's white that's going to be coming down into here. It's not a very big one. Go ahead and pick up that value there. Okay. Shade. This is shaded here. probably not quite that far down. Okay. Now then, across this dark region here, dark right up to this second inner strand, and then this one here comes around. Yep. So this secondary strand then will come around here like so. Up into here is a sort of a stain of shadow. And the white piece will come up to here. Down like that. Just roughly the outline. This will come up to here and go back down. It's kind of a darkness. And then of course this shadow, I maybe make this crap out from under there. Okay, got that there, and this comes over here. This actually comes out a little bit there. No, actually it's lower than that, isn't it? I'm wrong. It's lower than that. And a little, great, that's lovely. Then there's this one that comes up here. It's an area of total white. Just about. Yeah. So we'll map it out for now. Alright, what do we got here? Let's see. Oh yeah, it's coming together. Kind of an X of darkness here. It's really kind of bizarre. Okay. This will come sort of like that, I guess. Huh? All right. Yeah, that's it. And like I say, it's rough at first, but then at any point to smooth it out, just to get these values smoothed back out again, it'll begin to blend in to looking like what it's supposed to be, which is real hair. Now right along this edge here, there's an overall shading I want to pick up. Might could go there too, just a skosh, but it's definitely over into here. And then this white, I can pull out some in the center if I want to, like that. Maybe a streak of extra white through here that we've lost. Alright. Back here and take a look. Yeah, we're getting there. Got a couple of bad pencil lines here I want to lose. I mean, hair could probably do that, but I don't need to do it up here. You know, I want to try to keep it like it's some sort of maybe combing at some point. There you go. Now, yeah, we're getting there. It's a-coming. Now I can go back in here. I'm going to cut out a little bit right in there. I could probably lighten some of this up over here by rubbing it in and then erasing some white clumps down through there. Just picking up some highlights that way. Yeah, it's just all gonna sort of fall, hopefully, into place. It's a tangled mass of hair. That's basically what you got. Here at the top, I can join all of that together like that, sort of. And that shows the top of the head going away into a naturally darkened area because of the fact that the light's not hitting it. There should be a band of shine right across there, but because of the tangled skeins of her hair, we're not getting any of that. And that's not giving us what we want. I'm going to take a 6 and try to pick up a little extra dark in the really, really dark areas up here. I can, just a little. I want to be judicious with this 6. I don't want to do too much. It's kind of hard to get it back again. But yeah, you can get a little mileage out of one of these 6s. Look in the very, very darkened areas. There's a really dark area there. Comes out and around. Alright, now that gives us the idea of the darkest dark areas. And then when you impress a 6 then, it doesn't really go away, it just sort of gives you a idea of depth then. Oh yeah, that's coming. That's what we want. Alright. There's a slash. Where's that slash at? There's that one. And then this one comes out. It comes out again down here. And then it comes out down here for the last time. Well, that's some kind of like that there. Just trying to get it to see where we're at here. Yeah, there's stuff going on everywhere. We have to try to get that right. Now down here this joins, and it's actually very, very bright at this intersection juncture there, so we can go ahead and pick that up now. Yeah. Alright, now I'm beginning to make out details as we go. If I take an HB now, start over here at the edge of the head. Of course, I should be able to pull out. I don't know why I can't pull out any more white through here. Maybe it's because I've already put too much junk on it. Get that out. Yeah, okay. Some of this takes a while. You know, try to get it to raise up like you want it to. This is a darkness here, and this comes out and does some funny stuff here. Alright. There. Alrighty. I think we're finally about to get that joined over there somewhat. Now we're going to take our 3H and once again get back to doing hairs. We're going to have hairs through most of this. Of course, with the exception of the super high shine values, which we won't have any there. Yeah, with the exception of the super high shine values, we won't have any hair up there. And now, of course, we can go back and cut those out again. I can probably do a little bit more than what's in the picture. You know, just to sort of balance things out a little bit. I don't think the camera light is always very fair to the whites when it comes out. I just don't think it is. In other words, some of these values could be whiter than they are and make my picture look better, which is something I really would like to see. Okay. Okay, and there we are here. I can see a pretty dark line here and here. Make sure I'm drawing that right so you can see it. A pretty dark line here and here. This comes all the way up the back and around here. Go ahead and just imply that darker through here. Yeah. Let's get it really dark through there. Alright. Now I'm gonna, of course, I don't want to smooth the darkness too much, but I would like to smooth some of the edges out and then cut into that. To bring out that lightness. Yeah, okay. And this is picking up an inordinate amount of light, and this here is picking up an inordinate amount of light, and this over here is picking up quite a bit. Up to there. Alright. So, it's beginning. It just takes forever to do this. I think you know that now. I'm going to dance a 6 across here because that's the only thing at this point that's really going to show up. And I'm only going to do it in the super darkest areas. Like this. And this is really represented as totally black. I don't know that I want this black in the finished product. But, it's got to be some black. Let's see here. Let's move this down so we can see it. Yeah. Under there now, it's really, really wicked black. Dark, 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 dark. totally uniform across there, but I was picking up some values. There's some dark through there. Yeah. Alright. Back here and look at that. Yeah. Okay. So you see we've got a field of white up there and then a field of dark. And of course, we blend all of this in accordingly. Like so. And now this is all background supposed to be here. See if I can pick that up with a white eraser. Yeah, those are strands. Alright. And that's beginning to get that kind of strandy look that is hair. Like I say, this takes, you know, a while. I mean, this is not going to be an impatient process, people. If you thought it was going to be easy, quit. I used to not want to discourage students like that. But I'm going to have to tell you right straight up, if you think this is going to be easy, you know, maybe I get to talking more as I get to working more. And I may want to edit some of what I say out. But I'm going to say this now. If you think this stuff is easy, quit. If you're going to make something of stunning beauty, it's not going to be easy. I don't think anybody's ever told you it was easy. It's not as hard as it looks, but you got to stay with it. You got to keep building values. That's all hair is just building these values. There's no real trick to it. It's just hitting enough of the values that it works. And at some point, it will work. And there you'll have it. But you got to keep it up. I mean, you just can't say, well, that's all I want to do. Because that's all it's going to look like if you stop early. If you stop too soon, now that's where you're at. It's not going to start blending and doing the things that you want it to do if you stop early. It's not a good plan. What is that? That's hair, isn't it? Why have I got down here at this bottom? Why have I got lines here? I don't need lines there. That's hair. I don't need that hair there. I need to change my batteries. Buzzer's about to give up the ghost. There we go. Now that's supposed to be hair. Which, okay, it's hair. Fine. There. Make it hair. Make it all hair. Yeah, fine. Make it all hair. Turn it all into hair too. That's fine. Not enough is ever said about going away from this and coming back later. You see, I see what I was doing up there, because then it'll look more like her over there. Yeah. Get it down like that. So, this bottom part's got to be worked on. And it's really going to need some smoothing out, particularly down here in these areas where we haven't even gotten to before. This comes to here. I'm going to go ahead and just do this now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just fill in this area to the bottom of the page. And I can go back and pull out whatever highlights are necessary. Just from that right there. We'll smooth this in all the way across. Yeah. Smooth that in up through there all the way across. There we go. I might even pull out some highlights of my own that I like, just because it'll look better on my drawing, because my drawing is not exactly like the photograph at all. You know, it's actually going to have its own look in places. We're just 3/8 yet. Yeah. Alright. Take one of these fresh cutters here and pull just a few little strands of white hair across there. One or two. Get a fresh tissue, a brand new one. We'll wipe all that off, and we'll go back and just say we were playing out here. We didn't mean it out that far. Right. Yeah. And that gives her, I guess, a nicer texturing all through there. Okay. I'm going to get under here now and dig right up. There's a shadow under that weight of hair. Apparently this hair sticks out farther. Now I'm able to go back and make those kinds of discoveries. Oh yeah. There's actually a hair from this darker area that flips out there a little bit into that. That's an interesting thing. Which means we can pull this value up. In fact, there's two of them. There's a second one here. Comes down and actually separates that into that. It's weird. Yeah, I'll rough it first. And anything that bugs us, like the ends of the pencil line there, we can go back and just take it out. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. All right. Now all of this down through here, I believe most emphatically is going to be shaded. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, now that'll recess it. Rub those two little guys in right there. I don't know what they're doing, but I'll use them. And then once again, the judicious use of the 6 through here. To pick up what I have termed to be dark lights. Just areas of super, super black. Now, yeah, you have to have patience to do this kind of thing. It's not an easy thing to do. But, like I say, it will eventually pay off, I believe, in fairly big dividends. If you just stick with it. I got 1, 2, shoot. Got 1, 2, 3 areas here of high. Here again, we're still just in just shading. This is all we're actually doing is just shading this to a completion. You know, real hairs and all will be one of the very last things that we actually do, but you gotta layer this stuff out here and look it over real good. There's 3 layers of that. 2 of them come together here, and then they continue on for a little bit. This one comes under and joins, and this is the one that comes under and kind of does that. Then it comes out. Okay. That is the big strand. Okay, get this. Check this out. Part of that white. Are we getting that? Let's see. Part of this white right here. Check it out. Alright. Okay, that's giving us the look. Alright. Now right along here is going to be an area recessed with the high shine coming out on either side of it. We know that already though. Yeah. That's not going to be any real big shock there. While I'm under this chin, one thing I want to show you to get this out. I cut a light line under her chin, and it's okay up the top, but see where the line is visible under it? That's got to go. That has to disappear. It's okay to have a reflected light line, but that area there has to go. So the only way to get it to go is very, very cautiously get up under here on the part that it shows up right next to the white line on the bottom. And do that. Then take your H if you really think you haven't quite gotten it. Do that just a little. Okay, we're rounding down to a completion here. Getting down in the short rows, as my grandfather used to refer to this sort of thing as the short rows. And that's where we're at now. Alright, over here, very quickly, I'll take a 3B. I'll ascertain that this entire area here is going to be dark. And I'm going to go ahead and just darken it up real good. And this area is going to be dark too. Up to right around in here. And all of this is going to have a kind of implied, much darker than anything else feel to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just sort of overlay that pretty much. Save a little time, do that. That's probably the thing to do there. And it will smooth it all in. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and smooth in this area of darknesses accordingly. Because that's the way it's going to look. I'll show you what I've done here. You can take a nice, good long look at that. And see the similar pieces. And see the similar pieces there. Okay, that's pretty much what we're going for darkness wise. Now there's that high band of shine on the strap of her arm, rather of her shoulder. See that? That's blanched in a white light. We don't need that. So what we're going to do is not really worry about that so much. What we're going to do is again take our cutter here and cut out highlights up here, highlights down through here, like so. And then I'll take my 3H pencil, maybe my HB. I can determine whatever I did with it. Where's my HB pencil? Here it is. No? I'll take this HB here and I'll start pulling in hair streaks through this darkened area here. Something like that. And then I'll take the 3H. Find it, and I'll start pulling similar hair strands through the white, and then once again go back, thin some of those out. In the dark areas I'll just bang those in like that. Now we're getting a kind of a sketch consistency out of this, which is fine, really. And I'll just add in a little darker there. Yeah, I'll just add like a little bit of darker there. And of course, buzz out our highlights as we talked about. And that gives us a kind of a slight realism. Through here, I'll hit areas of blacker than anything else. And then I'll come down like that, de-importantize it. Then take a sharp cutter like this one. And then once again, back it off a little bit. And that gives us a maximum loose realism for that strap. And that's very nice there. I might even finish it off with one really complete, let's get a 6B. Let's do this really medievally in places. Okay, I'm finishing this to the first level. In fact, I'm going to finish this drawing to a first level here. And what I mean by first level, there are many levels of completion to a drawing. One of the levels, I call it, of course, is the first level, is show ready. Show ready, of course, is the very first level where you would let somebody else see it and not be afraid they'd laugh at you. I'm going to do something medieval. I'm going to take a piece of paper towel, show you this on that 6B. Sometimes that's about all you can get to work in that. Or I'm going to take an HB, work through the 6B grain so that when I mingle it with the rub of just a regular tissue, it gives us an ultimate darkness smoothed in without losing the darkness to rubbing. And of course, like I say before, pick out highlights in that. Now, from back a ways, that looks finished to me. Oh, I could, I guess, go in here if I wanted to get really medieval. Touch a black 6B in my darkest areas. Why not? Play that game. If I wanted to, I guess I could. And then a quick dusting over of the whole thing. Careful not to bend my paper. And that should be accomplished. That should be it. That should be the thing right there. Okay. Down through here, this is an area in here. This is dark. An area here is dark. So it'll be light there. And then, of course, we'll want to have we want to get up close to our cheek as much as possible to get that diaphanous darkness here. Because this is going to be a dark area in here. I'm going to go a little darker than it calls for in the picture. We'll fix it initially. I'll show you why in a second. You can drive a 6 deeper. Then I can come in here like this and cut out some sort of mild like highlights here, 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 here. Drop a few down here even. That will be good for us there. Then I will take the standard 3H, if I can find it. And I will put in hairs, hairs, hairs. Except of course where there is really blanched white shine. Now, okay, that completes the hair. All, of course, that remains then from that enterprise, that encounter, as we've done so many times before, back off the pencil lines just a bit and go in with your cutter in the highest white hot areas and pull out a little bit. Like so. Then go back, balance with some of the hairs going into these areas and getting near the hot shine areas, but not actually getting all the way in them. And then scraping out a few minor highlights here. And that ought to give you a nice hair design down the side. If you want to go deeper than that with values, if you want to spend time like over here, if you want to go in and take that area right there and downplay the pencil marks, you can. And I'll tell you now, the more that you work this, the better all of that and the more realistic it's all going to look. It all depends on how far you want to go. Over here, for example, that's a nice beefy stranded area right in there. Nice and beefy. But you want to back some of it off because it looks a little too pencil-y. Get those hard pencil lines. Now, notice here. See that? Watch this. Take your BAP here, and what you're going to do is back off the harshness of it as follows. All these hard strands, back them off. You can go up here at the top. That's close to the edge shot. Back it off. Pull out your highlight. Okay? You can do that. What that's going to do is give you a more implied realism. Down here on the edge, the same exact thing. Hit these very edges. Your fingers blur going around. It is said that a finger will blur around its edges. This is true, it does. A finger blurs. Well, all of this will blur around its outer edges if it exists in real time, which it does. De-importantize the edges, keeping the darkness in the center areas intact. Just in the center, not along the edges, not along either edge. Darken it now in the center areas, not along this edge. And here. Alright. Do this. You're at the point now where you're going to be ready to stop soon. This isn't all that white. There's actually a lot more pencil lines in here. The white blanch area is right there. And then, I'm going to take a paper towel, I think, and do that because it's in the rough area. Smooth out the roughnesses accordingly. And you got it going on. That will give you a nice realism for that, which in its way will approximate that. That's sort of a mess there. That dark triangle rising up, that black area up at the top, you can fake every bit of that over here. You can fake every bit of that over here. All you have to do is realize, let's get a 6 on that. That's pretty nasty dark in there. We'll get a 6 on that. All this is a dark triangle, as we said, and it comes up into here. It's that kind of dark. And it'll come fading out. So I'll take a 6B. And I begin to approximate the reality, the realism of what's over there. Then I can take a 3 and when I shadow plate, this then begins to look like what it is, which is open area. All I'm doing is I'm just giving everything implied values that are clumped very close to what is in the original picture. You can take it from there. You can go even more detailed. I'm not going to go quite that detailed because most of my drawings take 80 some hours to actually do. I'm not going to sit here for 80 hours and regale you with my storytelling. Most of my masterworks I've already done in my life. I doubt I ever do a masterwork. This light to stay on. Keep touching it. I doubt I ever do a masterwork to the level that I used to do them. But if you can get this far, you can masterwork something. Again, it'll be up to you to see it, realize it, and work with it. That value's there. Take an HB, or 3H rather. Put some values like that. Catch these high values here where it's background behind it. And there you are. There. I'm going to leave it. You're where you want to be. You are where you want to be with this thing. You can now go in yourselves and do whatever other smoothing in or out you think you might want to do. You want to make it smoother. In the drawing of Emily, I introduced you to this level of work. Then I showed you those gorgeous pieces that I did from before. They took 10 years to do. But they all went right to this level here. I've tried to show you in this video every mark I have made to get here. It was my desire in this video, because of comments that I heard from before, it was my desire in this video to show you every mark I made in real time. I got you this far. It's up to you if you want to masterwork this woman. It's up to you to do it. This is a completed portrait to the standards of extreme realism. If you could draw this in my class, you could be an instructor. I would hire you as an instructor in my class if you were this good.